Been a hell of a week. I've been sick as hell, so I barely watched anything. So we're just going to talk about what you guys want to talk about.
Haha, yeah.
Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. As always, my good friend Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby.
You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about all the news and wrestling. You can also follow us on social media.
Right down there.
Link below or in the description or there below. And yeah, it's been a hell of a week, man. I've been, I don't know if you can still hear it in my voice, but I've been sick as a dog. Man, I barely watched anything.
I worked my ass off.
Yeah.
Between Saturday and Sunday, 26 hours in 2 days.
Ratings drawing dog. Yes, he is. What's up, man? How you doing today?
I've had worse, had better. I guess I can't complain.
That seems to be the friggin' story for this week, man. Everybody's just beat to shit. But hey, man, we're still gonna talk about some wrestling. We'll have fun. Let me change the background into something a little better than this shit. All right. But real quick, before we get into any of it, check in with the chat. Leg Kick was first here. Said, hey, what's up, Leg Kick? Appreciate you being here, man. He's got some topics already. How soon will Hikuleo show up in WWE? Who will step in for Kingston? What do you think, guys? We'll talk about that in a minute. Maldecito said, sup, people? What's up, Maldecito?
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's
What's up?
Big Daddy came in with the hey yo.
Hey yo.
Yeah, Big Daddy did a real nice shout out to everybody that he mods for and follows and everything. So appreciate that, Big Daddy. And let's see here. Leg Kick said, say, hey, Guardian Kids, Miss Sarah, and good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Miss Sarah.
Good
Appreciate
evening.
you being here. So,
Yeah.
Been an interesting week, to say nothing the least.
Maldecito, concentrate on driving, brother.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we don't need you getting in trouble, man. But before we get any further into that, we'll go ahead and get our favorite segment done. A little something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this week it is even, so it is my turn. The good, you guys know me, man. New Japan, best of the Super Juniors. No one does tournaments like New Japan. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If WWE and AEW was smart because they kind of copied the New Japan Cup formula for the C2 that they're doing. But if WWE were smart, man, they would try to pull something. I don't know if they could pull off something like the G1, but if they could, man, that's so different from anything that anybody over here has seen as far as tournaments are concerned, man. I think it would be a big hit, but it's been fun so far. That's one of the few things I did watch this week when I was at work, suffering. But yeah, man, it's when it comes to tournaments, man, no one does it better than New Japan. So
Right.
that was a lot of fun. The bad, Sami Zayn said what might be one of the dumbest things.
Sami Zayn or Guevara?
Sami Zayn
Oh, Sami Zayn, okay.
said one of the dumbest
We're
things.
so used to Sammy Guevara being stupid.
What'd you say?
We're so used to Sammy Guevara being stupid that Frank just went, no, that's
Yeah.
the wrong guy.
Sammy said he thinks he would have gotten a WWE World Title reign under Vince McMahon. No, you wouldn't, because you are not of Vince McMahon type of guy, man. It was It's just, I would have liked to have seen it. I think a lot of people would have liked to have seen it, but there's no goddamn way that would have happened under Vince.
Yeah, no way. No way.
Yeah, there's no goddamn way. So wishful thinking. I mean, he's obviously upset about it because he thinks he probably deserves, and I think he did deserve one. But and the reason why he didn't get one is probably because of Vince, because Vince doesn't like little guys like that. So, yeah, that was kind of dumb. But what are you gonna do? NWA did the tournament best. Well, okay, wait a minute, like, hang on to that for a second. I'm gonna ask you what tournament you're talking about. But Big Daddy said, "I'm happy to see Jeff Cobb will be on Dynamite, even if only for a shot." Yeah, dude. Yeah, every time he shows up there, it's fun and it's a good match. I'd like to see him do some interaction. Well, he's teamed with Kyle Fletcher, so they're still doing the Kingdom thing. It seems like so. Be interesting to see if Will Ospreay gets involved.
Oh, Maldacito.
Don't worry, got a chicken sandwich in one hand, orange soda in the other, and steering with my knees.
Oh, hopefully
You're gonna make me choke to death, dude.
Hopefully it's not raining because that's a bad combination.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Like I said, Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup. That was a pretty good tournament. That's you know what I'll give you that one. I'll give you that. That's a pretty good tournament. I just think nobody on a consistent basis does it better than New Japan.
And if you're not going to put a title on Chad Gable, who deserves it,
yeah,
you're not going to put one on Sami Zayn.
No, and like the only reason Sammy even got his shots was because of his involvement in the Bloodline storyline.
Yeah.
Other than there's no way Vince would have given him a shot.
Nope.
And there's no way Vince was going to put that belt on him. I think it would have been cool to see, but I'm not Vince McMahon. So, and then the ugly, the freaking injury bug again, man. We got 4 more people to add to the list. One of them was actually injured about 3 weeks ago and did not know about it. Yuka Sakazaki for AEW. She has a leg injury, so she's out. But the 3 big ones this week, man, Zelina Vega, Chuck Taylor, and Eddie freaking Kingston. A lot of people thought that maybe Zelina's was just like she got sick or something. Because I guess a lot of people that went to the France show fell ill, but she has a legitimate injury. Chuck Taylor has been nursing an injury for a while, and then they think that it may be career ending, which is unfortunate. But so he was already injured. He knew he was injured going into that parking lot brawl, and but he wanted to go out on his terms, man. So he said, "If that's my last match, I want to go out the way I want to go out." So they let him do it, and then Eddie Kingston, and they kind of worked that into the storyline. So we'll see what's going to happen with Eddie being out now. I'm thinking someone asked, who's going to be taking Eddie's place. I think it's going to be Claudio.
Yeah, so do I.
I think it'll be Claudio. So, but the injury bug jumps up again. And actually, that's something we could talk about a little bit later. But that's my GBU, guys. Frank, what do you got?
All right, my good. I watched a little bit more wrestling than Rob did, so actually watched Raw, Dynamite, and half of Collision today. So going through quite a bit. My good, I could go with Adam Copeland versus Brody King on Dynamite, but I'll go with and I was happy to see it, and Let Kick even mentioned to it was Tommy Billington, the Dynamite Kid's nephew, and he's going by the Dynamite Kid just like his uncle. So hell of a match. Little kid, I mean, not real big. Put on some weight, but him versus Dax, really good match, and the crowd was into it. Good showing by him. First match in AEW. wrestled before, but that's somebody who can have to give him the right push. Could be a star in the making. So hats off to him and great showing. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they take care of him and push him right and go from there. Even mentioned Owen Hart, which we forgot to last week. His birthday last week, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah,
So,
Big Daddy actually did a series of videos on that. They were really good. Kind of brought that whole thing back around, man.
Yeah, but they talked about.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember if you were with me when I was watching it live. But yeah, it was rough, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, they talked about they mentioned Owen Hart's name with some moves that Tommy made in the ring. So good to see that and hear that. Not taking anything away from Copeland and Brody King. That match is pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
But and my bad is I don't mind the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. I don't want to see Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga in the finals.
That's what you're gonna
in
get.
Saudi. I don't want that.
Yeah,
dude. I want to see Gunther in the finals in Saudi. I don't want to see it. We've had enough of the bloodline crap with Jey Uso and this guy and that guy.
Yeah,
move on.
We're gonna get more of it going forward. So,
Good.
I was really disappointed when they had Jay beat Ilya Dragunov. I'm like, you bring him up just to have him lose. I mean, and I get it. And like Jay's one of their top guys right now. Connected with the bloodline and everything. So, but I just think it would have been more exciting if Dragunov had won.
Yeah, I would have loved to see him and Gunther because he has a victory over Gunther.
Yeah, they have
love
history,
to see those two. Yeah, love to see those two in the finals on Raw.
I think we're gonna get it's gonna be an all bloodline final. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and I have no interest in that. I really don't. But like you said, that's where it's going, and they could do better. You can put Tonga versus Jey Uso in some other kind of match. And if that's going to be the finals, I could care less who wins the King in the Ring. I really could. Doesn't matter to me at all. The women's side, Tiffany Stratton hopefully is in the finals versus whoever from. You have the possibility of Bianca versus Cargill on SmackDown in the finals. So you have your tag team champions possibly going up against each other. We'll see.
Yeah.
But they
definitely need to put her in the ring with somebody that can carry her. So
yeah. And my ugly, it's with the injuries, but Maxine Dupree, you have no better option. No offense, but Maxine Dupree in a Queen of the Ring tournament match.
Yeah,
you knew she wasn't going to win. And Shayna Baszler should have, no offense, but Shayna Baszler should have taken out Io Shirai.
They're never going to do Shayna the way they should.
No,
she's never going to be the Queen of Spades again.
Because I would love to have seen Shayna Baszler versus Starks in
Zoe
Starks on Raw for the finals on the Raw side. But no, it's Io Shirai versus what's her name? Just called her up from AEW.
You mean from NXT?
Or NXT. Sorry, I can't remember her name.
I didn't see it this week, so I couldn't tell you. What was it? I think was it Laya Valkyrie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude. I honestly, man, I like Lyra Valkyrie better than I like Zoe Starks. Zoe Starks doesn't do nothing for me, man.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see where it goes. But that's my GBU. And
All right.
to all you moms out there, happy belated Mother's Day from Sunday. Um, that was an ass kicker for me as 13 and a half hour day on Sunday at work. So paid for that, and I relaxed all day today.
Yeah. Big Daddy, I agree 100%. Honestly, man, if I'm bringing Jacob Fatu in, I would have made him the head of the friggin'. I would have made him the new head of the family instead of Solo. He's legitimately the most talented of that entire family, and I also agree with that. Letting Solo speak was a mistake. Yep. Yeah, give me the fucking pencil. Yeah. Lexi said, I had a privilege of watching the original Dynamite Kid. He wrestled Kurt Hennig before he was Mr. Perfect in Seattle. Yeah, dude, Dynamite Kid was something else, man. That dude was a fire plug.
Yeah, I love this. I love this snap suplexes. Those are
awesome. Yeah, dude, he was a master at that shit. But so let's see here.
What do you got, Johnny?
I still refuse to watch anything Logan Paul's involved in. So, y'all tell me how that goes.
You know what, dude? I'm not the biggest fan of him either, but I get why they're doing it. And honestly, I think this is going to be a better match than anything else that they've had Cody doing so far, except for the match with AJ. So, but leg kick. He had the first question: is who will show up? How soon will Hikuleo show up in WWE? I'm amazed he's not there already, man. I'm amazed that Vince didn't snatching him up. He's the exact kind of guy that Vince is looking for. He's 6'8". Although, dude, again, crazy shit in Vince's head. Vince didn't like people who were 6'8". That number, 6'8", it was like it's same thing with his whole didn't like it when people would sneeze when he was eating or any of that crap. He had a friggin' bug in his ass about guys who were 6'8".
No.
He loves them big dudes, but that size, 6'8", it was like a no-go with him. Yeah. Which is the dumbest shit I've heard in a long time.
You know, Vince like 69 with Janelle Grant better.
Jeez, dude. Oof. God, dude. That was almost in my GBU, was like the latest thing from him. Talking about they're like I'm gonna be exonerated when they look at the text messages that because he claims that if you look at the text messages in context with what he sent back to her, that it changes the story. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's all jacked up, man. But he's like, I had text messages to prove it, but I deleted them, but she's gonna have them. And I'm like, oh my god, dude.
God.
You know, and I don't agree with Dave Meltzer a lot. And holy shit, dude, trying to watch him this week was like pulling teeth. That guy, listen, been in the business for a long time, has a lot of encyclopedic knowledge about wrestling and wrestling history, but that man will go off on a freaking tangent. You think we go off on tangents? Oh my god. He just starts rambling and just goes on, and then finally after like 10 minutes he'll circle back and make his point that should have taken him like 60 seconds. But I do agree with him that the whole reason Vince is doing this is because Vince wants to start. Vince is still a businessman.
Yep.
But because of what's happened, he's persona non grata. No one will do business with him. So he's got to try to find some way to get that heat off of him, at least enough to where people will, will at least do business with him. So, now Vince was a nut bar. But one thing I do agree with him on is never trust someone who won't eat a steak.
He needs to get this thing settled one way or the other.
Yeah.
Before he can even attempt to move on. Because nobody's going to deal with him. So a year or so after this is all blown over. Because how long it take for Hogan with his racist comments
It took a long
on
time.
Bubba the Love Sponge before he was able to come back.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous, but yeah. But how soon will Hikuleo show up? I don't know that Hikuleo is going to go there, man. I really don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think if he does, though, he's going to NXT. I don't think there's so many of them there now. I don't really think they need them, especially with Jacob coming in. I don't really think they need Hikuleo.
Yeah, you don't want to go there and get lost in the shuffle of the the 10 Samoan people you got there, because you're just at that point you're just a number.
Yeah, and he is, to be honest, he is the least talented of the entire family. He's a big dude. He's not terrible, but he's not particularly great. So
It's just like Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt's brother. I mean, yeah, he's his brother, but he never had the talent that Bray did. Now, hopefully, we'll see something with this Uncle Howdy. We'll see if it gets over.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't root for people to fail. So, but speaking of the Crockett Cup, NWA, the Crockett Cup is going to be broadcasting on the WB, and it's going to be this Saturday. But there's only one friggin' match announced for that thing. EC3 versus Sam Adonis for the NWA World Heavyweight title. And I'm like, you think you might want to put a card together before this weekend, man?
Yeah.
So it's like, what the hell's going on? Billy Corgan. I don't understand that dude, man.
He's taking a lesson from Tony Khan.
Apparently. It's like, I'll just throw it together at the last minute. But
that's what the cocaine eagle came from.
Yeah. But that was another piece of news is Corgan said that NWA signed another TV deal. And he says that the deal with the CW didn't fall through at all. So, we'll see. But, yeah, dude, I'm like, I looked this up for the, yeah. He claims that he talked to them and they said everything was cool. So, whether or not that's true or not.
Didn't they sign with NXT?
What do you want me to tell you, man? Oh, wait a minute. See here. So actually, no. Why isn't? Okay, I'm looking at Cage Match, where the card, and like I said, it only shows one match. But according to this, they're actually doing. It's more of the Knox and Murdoch, Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch, Blunt Force Trauma, Damage and Carnage, with Aaron Stevens, the Immortals, Kratos and Odinson. The Southerners, Silas Mason, Kerry Morton, Alex Tater, with Ricky Morton in their corner. The Fixers, Wrecking Ball, Legursky, and Jay Bradley. I actually know who Jay Bradley is. Tim Storm and Jax Dane. Country Gentleman, AJ and Casey Kazan, with Joe Kazana. Daisy Kill and Talos. So actually, they do have a full. Why is it not showing up on the place where you can actually go watch it?
No,
that doesn't make any damn sense. But yeah, Corgan says that they never lost that deal, that deal's still in place, which I'm kind of calling bullshit on that, because why haven't we seen anything? So we haven't even seen an announcement. But yeah, Crockett Cup's going to be this weekend. So there you go, man. But let's see what else we got here. All right, so what else are we going to talk about here?
I'm surprised. I know there's still like 2 weeks left, but Becky Lynch her contract expires the end of this month.
Yeah, I think, and some people were saying because she tweeted a picture of Tony Khan reading her book, that they're like, oh, she's going to AEW. She ain't going to AEW, dude. Becky Lynch is not going to AEW. She might talk to AEW. She might talk to AEW, like Randy Orton talked to AEW to get a little bit better deal. But she ain't leaving freaking WWE, man. She's one of their top people there. Her husband works there.
She's a champion right now too.
She's the freaking champion now. Why would she leave?
She can go pull a Lunger Blaze and just drop the title in the garbage can on
that
Dynamite.
Ain't gonna happen. That ain't never gonna happen.
And then wrestle Mercedes.
Oh my God, you I don't even want to talk about that shit. She better. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Holding her out this long, supposedly they're, oh no, she's not still injured. She's ready to go. She's been ready to go for that. If you've held her out this long and she was ready to go, and you've held her out for when it finally happens, it's going to be almost 3 months since her debut. If you held her out that long, you're an idiot.
Yep.
Tony, if that's true, this might be one of the dumbest pieces of booking Tony Khan's ever done. Hey, what's up, Courtney? How you doing
Courtney.
today? Good to see you, girl.
Hey.
If she doesn't have an absolute freaking banger match to make up for the fact, to at least try to make up for the fact that she's been sitting on her hands for 3 months, dude, she better come out like with all guns blazing, man, and shut up some of these people that have been talking. Because if not, if she doesn't move the needle on this, then this is a complete fail from TK.
Yep.
Did we ever figure out who beat her up in that lights out ankle? That interview she did?
It's gonna end up being freaking Chris Statlander is what my opinion is. I think that's what it's gonna end up being. But what was it? What was the card this week for Dynamite?
What, tomorrow or is past week?
No, this tomorrow.
You've got Kyle O'Reilly versus Edge, I believe, in one of the matches.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly versus Edge. I know that they're gonna have a contract signing with
Mercedes and Willow.
Yeah, Mercedes and Willow. Which, okay, like I said, something exciting needs to happen with her, because like I said, man, this probably one of the worst pieces of booking that Tony Khan's done in a long time. But I'm trying to pull the rest of the card up here.
Hook is back this tomorrow.
Oh boy. Dude, I'll be honest, man. I'm over that shit.
Is it tomorrow or is it Saturday that you have the Elite versus Seidel and Christopher Daniels?
Didn't that already happen?
No.
Then I think it's tomorrow. I'm trying to find it here. Where is this shit? Can't you guys just show me the goddamn thing I want to see? For fuck's sake. Yeah, I can't find it. But see, Dynamite card.
Let's see. You have Swerve Strickland versus Brian Cage. Moxley and Danielson versus Cobb and Kyle Fletcher.
Oh, isn't it Dax versus Okada?
Yes.
Yeah, Dax versus Okada. Strickland versus Brian Cage. And didn't Adam Copeland called out Malachi Black, right?
No.
He's calling him out for double or nothing. He's going to challenge him at double or nothing.
I think so. Maybe I got the match wrong. Maybe Kyle, because what I'm seeing here is Moxley and Brian Danielson, Cobb and Fletcher. Maybe.
Yeah.
it's not. They don't have listed Kyle O'Reilly versus um, Adam Copeland, so maybe that's Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah. I know that match. I know that. Yeah. So Mox and Danielson versus Fletcher and Cobb, which that might be the show stealer right there.
Do you think it's going to be better than Okada versus Dax?
It very well might be, dude. Look at the people in that match, dude. You got Jeff Cobb never disappoints. He never disappoints. And then you got friggin' Bryan Danielson. You got Moxley, Kyle Fletcher, dude. That dude's gonna be a star. That dude's he's good. He's really good. That match he had with Ospreay was dope as shit. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I think Christopher Daniels turns on Matt Sydal.
You think Daniels turns on Sydal and joins the new Elite?
I don't know if he joins it, but I think because the Elite threatening and all this stuff and the backstage stuff that
it's possible.
Christopher Daniels turns on Matt Sydal.
I can see that.
Which doesn't matter because who cares? I mean, Christopher Daniels is just there, a jobber to help the Young Bucks. So,
but I think that's the whole card, isn't it?
Yeah, Tony Storm versus Harley Cameron also on the card.
No, that's just a set out. That'll be a setup match, but
yeah.
But no, Dax versus Okada will be a good match. It'll be a really good match. But I think that tag match with the BCC and Fletcher and Cobb, I think that's going to be the best match of the night. Yeah. Although, dude, I don't know, man. Strickland, when Brian Cage wants to, man, you let him go, that dude can put on a hell of a match. And him versus Strickland will be it's going to be this week's Dynamite is way better than last week's.
And even though they all have it listed, they did talk about Hook with Jericho on Dynamite, and I thought they said Copeland versus Kyle O'Reilly, but I could be wrong. I thought that was tomorrow as well, but it's not listed.
Yeah. Let me see here. Just wish I could find the freaking. Someone sent me the friggin' the entire card for tomorrow, and I can't find it.
But now. I mean, I watched. They said I watched Raw. I watched the other two. I was not overly impressed with Raw on Monday night.
Raw was one of the only things that I watched, and it was terrible. Raw was dog shit.
The wrong guy won the Jey Uso.
The Dragunov. Yeah,
Dragunov.
Wrong person.
King of the Ring match. It should have been Dragunov versus Gunther.
Yep. Shayna Baszler should have beaten EO.
I could care less about Dakota Kai versus Becky Lynch. And then Liv Morgan comes out and takes out Becky Lynch.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not the biggest fan of Liv Morgan, but they need to get that belt off Becky because right now Becky does nothing for anybody. Okay, that's not bad mouthing Becky. It's just that it's so much that we've had for the last couple of years. It's like just go. Big Day said, Hollywood, just an FYI, the heads up, if you will. I'm Jay Brony account on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw your picture of your better half on there, my friend.
Yep.
Which, of course, is true. She is her better half.
Yep. So, speaking of Double or Nothing with Copeland challenging Malachi Black, you think Malachi Black finally gets his
title, first title?
Yeah, gets his first title.
First singles title.
Yeah.
He should. He deserves it.
Yep.
I also want to see Will Ospreay beat
Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong for the
Yeah.
international title?
Dude, I'm ready for Adam Copeland. I mean, Adam Cole to come back and just dump the Kingdom. Tony has booked them terribly. They should have come out and just run roughshod over everybody.
Yeah, they should have been the new Four Horsemen.
They should have been the new terror faction, and they did nothing with him. So having that belt on him, as much as I like Roddy, I really do like Roddy. It does nothing for him. And honestly, that belt was made for Ospreay. So put it on Ospreay. And let him and Okada fight for it or something.
Yeah.
But so far, I mean, there's 5 matches. We got Strickland versus Cage. Dude, some people are saying that they think that Christian Cage should beat Swerve Strickland. And I'm like, no way you're going to have him beat him this soon.
No.
There's no way. And it'd be disrespectful. But I would not. I was thinking about it. I wouldn't mind seeing him have a short run. Dude, he might be doing his best work ever in AEW right now.
Yeah.
So, he's, in my opinion, he's the top.
Okay, but now is not the time.
No.
Yeah, now is not the time.
No, Swerve's red hot. Dude, he paid his dues. He earned it. He deserves to hang on that belt at least until All In. At least until All In.
Yeah.
Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. Dude, I like Serena Deeb.
They're not putting a title on her.
No, I like Serena Deeb. I like Toni Storm. They are booking the two of them completely bass backwards. They should be, at this point, as popular as she is, even though she got the crazy gimmick, Toni Storm should be a face.
They're setting up soon Mariah May versus Toni Storm.
Yeah. What I would do with this match, is I would have Mariah May cost I would have Mariah May interfere with the match and almost cost Toni the title, but Toni finds a way to beat Serena, and then just have Mariah come in and beat Toni down, flip her face, because everybody's cheering for her anyway, so why not? And but that promo that Serena Deeb cut last week, last Dynamite, was it Dynamite or Collision? Well, whatever show it was, I can't remember. Dude, that friggin' promo was like 12 or 13 minutes long, and it should have been like 3.
Yeah.
Serena's not particularly great on the mic. She doesn't do face very well. She's a heel. She's a natural heel. She works better that way. And Toni's a fan. Right now, they're booking her as a face and Toni as a heel. And they need to flip it. It needs to be the exact opposite.
Yeah, I mean, they could set up with a ref bump, and Mariah accidentally hits Toni Storm like a kendo stick or something like that.
Yeah.
But then by the time the ref wakes up, it's 1-2 and she kicks out.
She recovers enough, yeah. But I mean, there's no way Mercedes is losing, right?
No. You're not bringing her in to lose to Willow Nightingale.
So she's taking the TBS title off of Willow.
Right.
What does that do for Willow, man? We kind of figured she was a transitional champion.
It's going to set up Willow versus probably Chris Statlander.
Yeah, because I think Statlander is going to be revealed as the one that beat her down, especially since she was Stokely. But I mean, of the 5 matches that are on here, the way I would do it, Strickland wins, Toni Storm retains and turns face. Mercedes is going to beat Willow, obviously. I would have I'd have Osprey beat Roderick Strong.
Yep.
And honestly, if you want to really make them mean something, the Elite's got to beat FTR, Bryan Danielson, and whoever's going to be with them. If you're going to build them up as the big bad faction, that's what needs to happen. But I don't know. What do you think? All right, I'm of two minds about this whole thing.
Two minds on what?
With this whole thing with Kenny Omega coming, like when he came back. I was okay with the beatdown. I was really worried about the thing where they were announcing he was going to be back the next week. Because I was like, dude, if he walks into that arena, that's it. That's it. That whole angle is done.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. But they did exactly what I said they should do. If he broadcasts from a hospital bed, okay, I can handle that. Yeah, I know I sound pretty bad, man. I apologize.
Yeah, he does.
And I actually have been drinking some herbal tea. So
she's chugging a NyQuil bottle.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Oh my God, I actually had to go to the ER Sunday. I couldn't take it anymore, and because I woke up and I couldn't freaking breathe. So I went there, and then so they put me on steroid, prednisone, and gave me some antibiotics, and finally double bag. Like Johnny was in college. You're gonna kill me, man. But yeah, it was. It's like, I mean, we're gonna get at least probably another 2 or 3 matches for Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
at least. This isn't a bad card. It's just the booking's a little weird.
Yeah, you know it.
But
then you look at I don't know when it's I can't remember the day of it, but the Saudi show, the King and Queen of the Ring tournament.
I haven't even looked up if anything's going to be on that card.
Oh, you got Cody versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And the reason he got that is because Logan Paul, big name, you're in Saudi. He's not beating Cody Rhodes.
Well, and here's the thing. That means that Cody's taking that belt because it's belt versus belt.
Is it? Title
Yeah.
versus title?
Yeah, it's belt versus belt. So I'm like, so we're going right back to the champion being in this case Cody 2 belts.
Yeah, it'll be just there'll be a disqualification. Some outside interference bullshit.
You think Solo makes his move?
Somebody's gonna make a move.
Yeah,
but
because I'm like, dude, if they put that belt, if they put the U.S. title on Cody, because one of the people are saying one of the reasons that they might do it is that this makes him I think this makes him the only person to hold every single singles belt on the main roster, including the new one that they made for Roman. So, but then I said, well, that's not true because he hasn't held Seth's belt.
Yeah.
So, I think that's BS. I think that's someone just talking. But dude, if they put the U.S. title on him too, I'm like, that you're basically just saying F you to everybody else on the upper mid card.
Yeah.
So, and I would just be like, this is bullshit. And plus, they have no direction for Cody right now.
Right. And I would like to see if they don't do it at King and Queen of the Ring tournament, Gunther versus Dragunov.
They got to run it back, man. They got to run it back. That's the whole reason to bring him up to the friggin' roster. So, I wouldn't mind seeing. Is Gunther going to make his move at that show, you think, or is it going to be more Bloodline?
More Bloodline.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right. I think that might be where we get Jacob Fatu's. That might be when we get Jacob Fatu's debut.
Can he travel overseas though?
I don't know. I mean, dude, it's WWE, man. They can move mountains to get people visas.
He didn't have his he had his problems with the law before. He might not be allowed to leave.
That is true. I actually didn't think about that. He has had a
That
few.
might be why he didn't show up. That might be why he wasn't in France.
Yeah.
And you have right now you have Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan for the title.
They got to take that belt off Becky. I mean,
You've
like
got
I said,
Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed for the Intercontinental title.
Do they take that belt off of Sami?
If I would put it on Chad Gable.
I would too.
And I can. We know we're pretty sure she's staying in WWE, but she hasn't signed a contract. They're not going to let her. If she hasn't signed a contract by the tournament, Becky Lynch is not walking out of Saudi Arabia with the title.
Yeah. And honestly, and like I said, I am 99.99999% sure she's re-signing. You know, there's always that possibility. Like if Tony Khan drops a blank check in front of her, anything's possible. I highly doubt it. But yeah, I agree with you. There's no way there. And even if she's not leaving, I don't see her. I don't see her holding on to that belt. I think it's going to be Liv Morgan. That way they can set it up so that when Rhea comes back, it's the two of them versus each other.
Yep.
But I appreciate. Yeah, I just sound like half the wrestlers from the 70s and the 80s, man. I sound like a regular day for Harley Race.
Yeah.
Harley Race, dude. That guy dude. Harley Race had sound like his voice sound like gravel in a blender, man. Dude, I tell you something. I love that dude, though, man. That's a guy that I think more people need to know about. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you. So you're saying there's a chance? You got to leave that.
There's always a chance, man. I didn't think Bryan Danielson was coming to AEW. I'll be the first person to admit that.
I was surprised when Kurt Angle left and went to TNA.
Yeah, that's true. That was a shocker. I was honestly surprised when Cody left AEW. I'm like, and like, I mean, though I know, like in the back of my head, I knew. I was like, he wants to go there and prove that, you know, all the bullshit that they thought about him was wrong. He wants to go there and prove that he can be the guy. That's the whole reason why he left and completely reinvented himself. You know, instead of dressing like a goofball, he's wearing a 3-piece suit. He's all business. Completely changed his image.
And you're never going to see surprises like you did back in the day when Rick Rude shows up on Raw and Nitro.
Nitro the same day. That was yeah. I don't think so. I don't think you're ever going to see that. So is it possible, dude? He would have to pay. Tony Khan would have to promise her the moon and stars.
He had to pay her Mercedes money.
Probably more. To be honest, man, to get her to leave WWE, especially right now, where a different guy's in charge. She's one of the darlings of the company. You know, her husband is literally one of Triple H's best bud guys. You know, that would be like shooting the golden calf. So I highly doubt her leave. I highly, highly, highly doubt she's leaving. I'll tell you somebody who I do. There's two people I think are, as soon as their contracts are up with AEW, they are out the door. Ricky Starks
Oh yeah.
and Wardlow. I think both of them are done. I think right now they're just treading water until their contracts are up. Because I think Ricky's contract is up sometime this year. I'm pretty sure his is up sometime this year. I don't know about Wardlow, but the way that they've been booked, especially the last 5 or 6 months, they're gone. They're both gone. Ricky's going to go to NXT and become a big deal. I really do. I really think Ricky's going to go leave and go and shoot to the top in NXT. Wardlow, he'll go there. He'll get rehabbed. Hopefully, they can do something better with him than Tony Khan did. But yeah, I think Wardlow. I think those two guys are done. I think they're WWE bound.
Right. And to be honest with you, I can see a guy like Seth Rollins taking a similar approach that Triple H did, stepping into a leadership role backstage.
Mm-hmm. All 100. Because here's the thing: every guy that's in charge of a company, they put together their own little cabal. They put together their inner circle. I 100% think Seth is going to be part of Triple H's inner circle. Right now, it's Triple H, it's Road Dogg, it's Shawn Michaels, and Nick Khan. I could see Seth transitioning into the background like that.
Big Daddy's got a question for you there, Johnny.
Johnny,
What is it?
no, not tag team, but solo. What's your Mount Rushmore?
Punk, Randy Orton, Bret Hart, and Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson? That's not a bad Mount Rushmore. Like mine constantly changes. But there's two people that will always be on my Mount Rushmore, man. Freaking Ric Flair,
Meet your boy,
Steve Austin. Those two guys are always going to be on my Mount Rushmore. Yeah, the rest are kind of interchangeable. Sometimes I got the Dead Man on there. Sometimes I got The Rock on there. Sometimes I've got, Hiroshi Tanahashi, guys like that on there. Shibata, he flips back and forth.
No Bruno.
Bruno was before my time. Like I've gone back and I've watched matches with Bruno.
No Hulkster.
Even when Hogan was the biggest thing in the world, I just and don't get me wrong, I liked Hulk Hogan. I loved Hulk Hogan. I was a kid. All right. Every kid kind of loved Hulk Hogan. I like guys like Randy Savage better. Randy Savage, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, those Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, those guys flip in and out. Some of the newer guys, Bryan Danielson flips in and out. Randy Orton flips in and out.
Yeah, Ric Flair's always going to be on there for me.
Yeah, Flair's going to be on there for me, always for me, and Stone Cold, just because I think Flair was the prototypical wrestler, and Austin for what he did, how he changed the business. Yeah, you know what? Terry Funk kind of flits around in my mind like that. Especially like, dude, like I said, my favorite match series of all time is Flair Steamboat. Flair Steamboat 1, 2, and 3. And in particular, I think Flair Steamboat 2, best wrestling match of all time. But the friggin' match that it only lasted for a couple months, but the feud that Flair had with Terry Funk right after that's a big deal because one, people that like Terry Funk, people thought Terry Funk was done. They thought he was in Hollywood. They thought he was an actor and that he was done. And they thought Flair was on his way out because like Flair kind of hit his apex at that point. And they all thought that they were basically, people were writing the both of them off, and they came back, and that match they had was a freaking banger. And they reminded everybody, like, no, you guys are forgetting who we are. So that match, like that series of matches that they had, that was amazing. Big Daddy's got Bruno, Flair, Dusty, and Hogan. Yeah, Dusty's another one that kind of flits in and out, you know. Admittedly, when I started, like when I really started watching wrestling, Dusty was on his downward slope. And then because I caught a few matches, got a little bit of his time in WCW, and then his time in WWE, which was friggin' Vince treated him like dog shit.
Yeah, he did.
Dude,
yes, he did.
Treated him like absolute dog shit. But yeah, like I said, there's those two guys, you know, Flair and Austin. They'll always be on my Mount Rushmore. But now here's a question about who's on your Mount Rushmore of the most underappreciated wrestlers? Frank, there's a question. Someone posited that question to me, and I have to think about that one really hard. One person that I think immediately pops into my mind, and some people may disagree with me because he's had a big career, but it's a dude that I really think could have been even bigger, is Steamboat. I think Steamboat was just so polished in the freaking ring, dude. He was just so good. And I feel like he kind of got, you know, he was unfortunate because he was in a time when there were some larger than life people that just overshadowed him.
Underappreciated.
Yeah.
I had to just pick Owen Hart, Kurt Hennig, Rick Rude.
Rick Rude's another one.
And I don't know who I'd pick for fourth. I mean, there's guys. I could go. I could go. Arn Finley, yeah. Yeah,
Arn
Rick,
Finley.
Mr. Perfect. Sorry, Rick Rude,
Rick Rude,
Kurt Hennig, Owen Hart, maybe Scott Hall.
I can see that. I'm amazed that Scott Hall didn't hold the world title in WWE or WCW at least once.
I mean,
I'm actually shocked by that.
Yeah, it was tragic what happened to Owen, but he should have been. He should have been could have been a world champion.
Yeah. God, I'm trying to think about who else on my. Rick Rude definitely would be one of them. Rick Rude, 100%. I'll tell you somebody that I really, really loved, but never. I'll tell you, you know somebody else that I think he's appreciated today far more than he was in the past. But freaking William Regal. I think William Regal. Okay, so William Regal, Ricky Steamboat, Jake Roberts. Now the thing with Jake Roberts though is he kind of self-destructed.
Yeah,
but that's another dude that I don't think is as appreciated as he probably should be. Roddy Piper, I think, is leg kick. I kind of agree with you. Even though Roddy Piper was a big deal, the fact that he never held the WWE world title, not even once. Harley Race. I don't know if Harley Race is underappreciated, dude. He may have been underappreciated in WWE, but overall, dude, he's still considered one of the greatest of all time. So, But I tell you what, another guy that kind of rounds out my list, Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton was one of the smoothest workers you ever saw in your freaking life. Ted DiBiase, that's another good one. That's another good pick. That again, as great a heel as he was, that dude never held the world. Well, he kind of did, because he had that thing where Andre presented him the belt, but he never actually officially held it in WWE, did he?
No, never did.
Never did. Yeah. That was that was your Mount Rushmore. Okay, Flair, Dusty, Steamboat, Race, or Piper. You got one extra on there, man. Terry
No,
Gordy.
it said Race or Piper.
Race or Piper, yeah. Terry Gordy. Bam Bam Terry Gordy was an awesome wrestler, dude. One of the cool, dude. I remember what was that? I can't remember. What was that? God damn it. My brain is taking a crap. What was the match where it was War Games? The original War Games in WCW. And it was the first two guys in the ring, in the cage, was Dr. Death Steve Williams and Bam Bam Terry Gordy. And they just beat the shit out of each other. Dude, that's when I realized that Steve Williams might be the strongest person I'd ever seen in my entire life. Bam Bam Terry Gordy weighed like 300, like 320, 330. He was a big dude. Friggin' Steve Williams presses him over his head, and he's pressing him into the roof of the friggin' cage just over and over and over and over again. I was like, God dang, dude. That's insane. It was ridiculous, man. Don Morocco.
The Rock, the original Rock.
Yep. Don Morocco. Dude, do you remember when he was hooked up with Superstar Billy Graham and he was wearing the tie-dye t-shirts?
Yep.
Ivan Koloff. Yeah, Ivan Koloff's another good one. Greg Valentine. Dude, Greg Valentine was another dude that I didn't get into until later. When he was in WWE. But I remember he had a match with Ronnie Garvin. And this was the first time, because like there were certain things Vince didn't like, man. He didn't like them like really beating the crap out of each other. But him and Ronnie Garvin must have got together in the back and went like, hey, we're just going to go all out with this shit. And they chopped each other. Dude, Greg Valentine's chest got chopped so bad that he was bleeding through his pores. And I remember watching that going, oh my freaking God. Tully Blanchard is another big one, yeah. Dude, Tully Blanchard, the greatest TV champion of all time. Tully Blanchard, greatest TV champion. Dude, let me ask you a question. And we'll kind of wrap it up here because I think I'm starting to lose my voice. Am I the only one that misses Tully and Arn on AEW TV? I miss Tully coming out and talking for his guys. And I'm a big friggin' Arn Anderson fan, man. I love Arn Anderson. The friggin' Horseman. I love those guys. I still think they're one of the 10 greatest tag teams of all time. But I really liked Tully Blanchard when he was on AEW TV.
Yeah, I liked because with his little faction
FTR.
there, yeah, and
especially with FTR, he was perfect with FTR, perfect, absolutely perfect. And I don't know, I guess Tony just didn't appreciate what he brought to the table. But I was like, man, come on. But yeah, Malice says he misses it too. Yeah, dude, I think AEW television was better when they were there. Like I said, there was a story that Dr. Death went 2 matches to 3 against an amateur wrestling legend. Dr. Death only had 5 months training. Dude, Steve Williams was legit. Steve Williams was a legit dude, was a legit guy, man. Like I remember when he was part of the Varsity Club with Mike Rotunda. Dude, him and Mike Rotunda worked really well together. Really well together. And So did Rick Steiner when he
Yeah.
was there, when he was part of the varsity club. So like, those guys, man, dude, wrestling has changed a lot over the years.
Yes, it has.
And it's not the same as it was. I prefer the way it used to be, but I can still appreciate it for what it is. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, there were a lot more guys back in the day that were legit than there are today. And it's one of the things I agree with Jim Cornette, man. It's like man. Stan Hansen, Ron Bass. Dude, I used to love Ron Bass. But it's one of the things I agree with Cornette on, man. It's like I think there's too many guys hitting moves that are basically that were finishers 6 months ago, you know. And I also think that might be a big part of why there's so many injuries now. You know, finishers don't get protected. You're always trying to outdo the last thing that you did. I would rather people slow it down, kind of learn the lesson that Osprey learned. You can slow it down, take your foot off the gas a little bit, still do all your cool stuff, but the best thing to do is is to work a story in the ring.
Yep.
That's how you capture people. So, but anyway, guys, like I said, I'm gonna end this thing because, like I said, I think I'm about ready to. I'm gonna go suck on a lozenge. But appreciate everybody that's in here, guys. Appreciate you guys putting up with my raspy ass. And shout out to everybody that watched today and all the lurkers. Big Daddy, Maldacito, Leg Kick, Miss Saren,
Courtney.
Courtney. It's always good to see you, kid. And everybody else that I'm probably missing. But appreciate you guys, man. And dude, after tonight, I'm on vacation for 5 days.
What?
Yep, because I'm going camping this weekend.
All right.
That's the reason why I got to get off here. I got to rest up and everything, man. I got to be ready to go. But
Nice.
yeah. But have a good one, guys. Take care. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.